There's a lot of bleach, SIM card swallowing, questionable costumes, and Allahu Akbar. Hello, Popcorn Recap here. Today, we'll talk about a 2010 comedy drama movie called Four Lions. Before we start, be sure to like the video, drop a comment, and subscribe to the channel if you dig the summary. The movie starts with Omar, Waj, Barry, and Faisal trying to film a video for the Kuffar. These four ordinary blokes live in the UK and aspire to be bona fide mujahideen. Every day after their jobs, they devote time to honing the skills they need to fight in the Holy War. Unfortunately for Omar, his buddies aren't what you would call the cream of the crop. The thing is, Barry is a paranoid lunatic, Waj is an idiot, and Faisal is a nervous wreck that likes hiding his face in a box. Despite Omar's efforts to set them straight, his buddies keep messing up. Thankfully, Omar's wife, Sophia, and his son fully support his hobby. Otherwise, he would have gone insane at this point. I even wonder how he was able to put up with those three. If that were me, I would have probably hanged myself already. One night while at work, Omar receives a message from his uncle in Pakistan. It's a secret invitation to a legitimate training camp for mujahideen. It's the moment that Omar has been waiting for, so he immediately asks his coworker Matt to cover his shifts for the next few weeks. The next day, Omar finds his buddies eating their SIM cards. According to Barry, it's the only way for them to avoid being spied on by the government. He then tells them about the training camp invitation and chooses Waj to join him. Barry becomes upset that he didn't get chosen, especially since he believes he's the most Al-Qaeda in the group. To protest against Omar, Barry stops their car on the way to the airport the next day and swallows its keys. Yikes, that probably hurts. Like, a lot. In response, Omar has him tied up and placed inside the trunk. Later in Pakistan, Omar's uncle finds Waj suspicious because of his strange behavior and belongings. Yep, I'd be wary of any grown man that's still carrying around his prayer teddy bear. Before continuing their journey, he asks Omar and Waj if they are willing to kill each other for their cause. The two friends then spend a few minutes trying to convince each other that they will. Eventually, Omar and Waj arrive at the training facility and begin their journey toward becoming true mujahids. On their first day there, Waj gets into an argument with a senior about where East is. As for Omar, he wanted to fire a rocket launcher at a drone thousands of feet above the ground. While they are all cramped up like sardines too. At least he has the death wish part of the training down. Back in the UK, Barry's still bitter about Omar leaving him behind. He meets a man named Hassan, a guy that pretended to be a suicide bomber in a public debate. Without Omar's knowing it, Barry recruits him as a new member. In Pakistan, Waj gets scolded for recording a video of himself firing an AK with abandon. Later that day, Omar and Waj find a drone within the range of their rocket launcher. Believing it's their destiny to protect a nearby Arab encampment, Omar decides to fire at the drone. He ends up firing it the wrong way, destroying the encampment, and Osama bin Laden with it. A few hours later, Omar and Waj are back in the UK with only their heads and balls. Barry picks them up at the airport and immediately realizes something is wrong. Omar denies it and gets angry at Barry for recruiting Hassan without permission. He orders Hassan to prove himself by stealing his father's white van for the group. Realizing that he must save face for the sake of his child, Omar lies to his friends the next day. He tells them that he found an emir and that they have received the go-ahead for a mission. The only thing they need to do now is to pick their target. Omar immediately gets dumbfounded by Barry's suggestion for their target. The lunatic wants them to do the most absurd thing, and that's to bomb a mosque. According to Barry, it will enrage everyone and force them to act, thereby accelerating the start of the final war. Is it just me, or does this plan sound like it makes perfect sense? Faisal suggests bombing Boots because they sell condoms that make them want to bang white girls. Omar is stupefied because he doesn't want to blow his guts out over a bunch of cotton buds and tampons. He then explains that they need to target something that will last in history and echo throughout the ages. After punching himself in the face to prove his point, Barry storms out and headbutts Faisal on the way out. Despite having no targets at the moment, the boys still make their preparations. They haul plenty of bomb materials that Faisal gathered to their hideout. Later that day, Omar gets a visit from his brother Ahmed. He's there because he can sense that Omar is up to no good. Due to his adherence to the rules, Ahmed hesitates to enter the same room as Sophia. In the end, he leaves after Omar and Sophia squirt him. In the next few days, the boys mess around with their explosives. Since he thinks that strapping explosives on yourself is too medieval, Faisal decides to train his pet crows to be his bombers. Sadly, it doesn't work out well. For the crow, mind you, not Faisal. One night, the boys plan to test their microwave bomb during a fireworks display to cover the noise. While the bomb works, Omar and Barry end up arguing. Omar is angry because Barry and the boys tested the bomb without him. To make matters worse, they learn that Hassan let a civilian into their secret lair. Omar orders Hassan to kill the woman using a knife and fork. Before the neophyte can leave, Omar reveals that he's joking and they'll move everything to Barry's place instead. While moving their bombs the next day, Barry's car breaks down. The incident forces the boys to carry their cargo on foot. Despite their efforts to remain inconspicuous, Matt sees Omar and approaches him. He entertains Matt while the rest of the boys move on to Barry's house. After losing Matt, Omar makes his way to Barry's house and learns about the devastating news. It turns out that Faisal accidentally blew himself up on a sheep. They give Omar a plastic bag filled with whatever remains they could recover of him. Omar asks for an explanation and Barry brushes it off as an honorable death. He says that Faisal is now in heaven and keeping their seats warm for them. Omar explodes and the boys start pointing fingers at who's responsible. In the end, an angry and disappointed Omar leaves his crew behind. While walking in the rain and contemplating his decisions in life, Omar meets Ahmed. He stops playing football with his friends and asks Omar to join their study club. Omar tries to open up about his problem, but changes his mind when Ahmed makes a funny face. I think that was just his usual face. As he sulks while his friends ignore him at their online meeting place, Sophia talks to Omar. Like a good wife, she supports her troubled husband and says he's more fun when trying to blow himself up. She then tells him that it's his responsibility to ensure he and his friends blow up at the right place. The next day, news spread about Faisal's severed head falling from a tree and hitting someone's dog. Later that night, he meets up with his crew to discuss the news. Omar then apologizes to Waj for everything that happened and he forgives him. The whole gang then agrees with Omar's new plan, and that's to bomb a marathon happening the next day. While the boys make peace with each other, police officers prepare to barge into the building. Surprisingly, the house the police enter is not the one where Omar and the gang are. They're at Ahmed's, and they arrest him and his friends. The police also find their wives hidden inside a cupboard and having tea. Since it's his last night on Earth, Omar drops by to see his wife. He discovers that police officers are questioning her about Ahmed. He pretends to be a co-worker and subtly informs his wife that he and the boys are ready to blow themselves up. That didn't sound right. Moving on. In the morning, the boys prepare by putting on costumes with the bombs strapped inside. During that time, Waj gets cold feet, but Omar manages to manipulate him into continuing the mission. Before they can move, a police officer spots and approaches them. Since he doesn't find the boys suspicious, he points them to the marathon and, ironically, tells them that they'll die in their costumes. Suddenly, a nervous Hassan freaks out and has a change of heart. He tells the police that he's a bomber, but not anymore because he changed his mind. Unwilling to compromise their mission, Barry blows Hassan in front of the cop. Blows up Hassan. Jesus, I keep messing up today. Anyway, realizing that they're now exposed, the boys run for it. Waj goes to his target while Omar and Barry argue about what happened to Hassan. Despite Barry justifying his actions, Omar believes that Barry demartyred Hassan. He then changes his mind and goes after Waj to stop him from blowing himself up. I got it right this time! Due to the explosion earlier, the police are now on high alert. The police have also identified the costumes of Omar's crew and are starting to look for them. One misfire on a Wookiee later, Waj goes into a local kebab restaurant and takes the people inside hostage. Not long after that, Omar gets in touch with Waj and tells him to release the hostages except one. He then tries telling him to abandon the plan, but it only confuses Waj more. He even sends Omar a selfie to prove that he's wearing his confused face. Suddenly, Barry arrives and takes Omar's phone from him. He then removes the SIM card and swallows it. Although he has plenty of experience in ingesting hard things, Barry chokes this time. A good Samaritan tries to save the day, but he blows Barry and himself up after doing a Heimlich maneuver. Meanwhile, Dr. Strange arrives to talk Waj down, but his hostage negotiation skills aren't that great. Omar leaves the scene and tries to buy a phone so he can call Waj. Like everyone else, Omar gets tired of the many questions that these shops ask whenever you try to buy a new phone. Eventually, he gives up and looks for another way to contact his buddy, and he does through Matt. Omar lies to Matt about being an M16 agent trying to stop a terrorist attack. Matt lends him his phone, and Omar calls Waj. He tells him to surrender just like he will. Unfortunately, the police enter the kebab shop, and while they shoot the wrong guy, Waj's bomb still explodes. As the only one left in the group, Omar decides to fulfill his duty and join his brethren in heaven. He asks Matt to tell the authorities that he was smiling when they met. Despite hating the idea, Omar enters the nearby boots and blows himself up inside. Maybe it's his destiny to spill his guts over tampons and cotton buds all this time. After the incident, the authorities interrogate Ahmed about Omar. Meanwhile, Matt tells everyone that Omar was an M16 agent trying to stop the attack. News also spread about the two mujahideens that accidentally blew up bin Laden in an Arab camp in Pakistan. The movie ends with a video of Omar and Waj. In it, Waj demands payment from a man named Mad Kadir. It seems he owes Waj some money.
Subscribe for more videos like this. Turn on notifications and leave a like. It really helps the channel.